It has been a little year-end tradition for me to do a recap video at the end of each year, and this year's going to be no different. I'm just mixing up the format a little bit. Rather than trying to recap, everything, I'm just going to go and do a straightforward gratitude list, because you can never go wrong by getting anchored in what you're thankful for. 2025, you got to admit, was a chaotic year, especially globally, and I know so many people for whom that macro level chaos was intrusive and did impact their personal lives profoundly. And I don't take that lightly. Doing this list at the same time, though, did feel like a way to remember the good and to see that there was actually a lot of it, and there's plenty of good to build off of for the year ahead and for the future. But yeah, let's go through it. So, item number 1, field trips with the kids. So I do this thing with my kids where every year I try and take at least one of them on a one-on-one trip, father-son trip, daddy-daughter trip. We love to travel as a whole family, but also just going one-on-one, different dynamic. It's cheaper too, because traveling as a family of 5 can be expensive. What I want to be the norm throughout their childhood is every year we take another one out on one of these trips, and then on the 4th year it's me and Deanna doing a couples trip. So every 4 years, each one gets a special father-son, daddy-daughter trip. Anyway, this year was a bit different. It was actually a me and Deanna year, but I managed to get each one of them out on a little adventure. In February, I went to spring training in Arizona with Kai. I had never gotten to go to spring training before, so it was a big treat for both of us. In April, Reese and I went to Philadelphia for a spring break trip, and we got to see the city where I was living back when I was his age. We even got to visit the house I grew up in, go to a Phillies game. And then in September, Juniper and I went to Quebec. We flew into Montreal, drove out to Quebec City, and she's in her princess era. So what's one spot in North America that kind of looks like it has castles? All 3 of these trips were big highlight moments for me and made me really glad that this is a thing we do. Another big thing I'm grateful for this year is that the chaos of the toddler years is starting to phase out. These days, I do have to do a lot of refereeing. That's going to be the case when you have 3 kids born within 2 years of each other. But, it occurred to me, especially when we went to visit my in-laws for Thanksgiving, that we are traveling with a third of the stuff we used to. We no longer need to bring big pallets of diapers. We no longer need to bring a whole bunch of pack and plays or, the little bathtub adapter thing. All that gear has thinned out. This year we went to 5 days a week of daycare. We just, when we were doing 3 days and then my mom and a nanny for the other 2, there were just a lot of times where someone would get sick and I would have to flex. So 5 days a week, much nicer. And guess what? The big upgrade comes this coming August when all 3 of them are going to be in school. It's going to free up so much time and so much money. As it goes with parenthood, you never want to rush it. Life right now, we're in a good spot with the kids. Things are much easier than they were even just a year ago. Definitely easier than 2 years ago. But they're still at a super fun, super cute, very playful age. So I am very happy with where we're at in our parenting stage right now. I know every stage has its perks, but definitely not in a rush right now. Okay, I mentioned that Deanna and I got to do a trip together this year, and we took a very special trip to New Zealand. This was a big milestone. It was our first trip that we managed without kids, just the 2 of us. In that 1 week, I feel like we got more quality time than we'd gotten in years. New Zealand, so we took advantage, went as far as we could geographically, pretty much. And a week was kind of short and we moved pretty quickly, but I have nothing but good things to say about the place, about the things we did there. We went to Hobbiton and loved it. We split our time between North Island and South Island, Auckland and Christchurch. Really good food, and then the main draw for me was all the natural wonders. So we got to go to Arthur's Pass. We got to see the area where they filmed the Narnia movie. We got to sail through the Waitomo glowworm caves, which is if that's all on your bucket list, Google it, and you might want to add it there, because that was probably my favorite thing that we did. And the whole reason we went there was item number 4 on my list. We celebrated 10 years of being married. I'd give that a solid 20 out of 10. no notes. Okay, actually, I have a bunch of notes because you learn a lot over 10 years. You learn how to have each other's backs, how to express what you need, how to be there for each other, how to keep communication strong. And, there are, as you keep evolving as people and as life changes and unfolds, there's always going to be new things. But I feel like a lot of the things we've continued to be working at, we continue to make big strides on over the past year. Something else I'm really thankful for is health. It was a really strong year for us as far as health goes with the two of us, and I think this counts double, knowing that we've still got kids in preschool, we've got a kindergartner, we're exposed to all kinds of germs, but thankfully we've avoided any major illnesses. People are healthy, and I think about this time last year because right around now Deanna was really sick and we were just puzzled as to why it was taking her longer to get better. So thankfully she bounced back very strongly from that, and I know that that's not something you can take for granted. Okay, so speaking of not taking things for granted, this year made me very conscious of how old people in my family are getting. My mom celebrated her 70th birthday this year. I am thankful she's in great health. She's able to be a very active part of the kids' lives. In fact, we celebrated her birthday by going to Disneyland. Not every 70-year-old wants to take 3 preschool-aged kids to Disneyland on their birthday, but she did. Unfortunately, this was also the year where we lost her oldest sister, my aunt who'd been living in the Philippines. My mom is one of 9 siblings, and until this year, they all have been together. My mom's the second youngest, and she just turned 70, so her oldest, who just passed, I think she was 86. Yeah, it's always going to be hard to say goodbye, no matter when it comes, so a lot of my family is blessed with longevity. Knock on wood, let's see how much of those genes came my way, but longevity is not the same as immortality, and at some point you do have to say goodbye, and it's going to be hard no matter when it happens. So no matter how much time you get together, even if it's a lot, you still gotta treasure it because it can go by. And yeah, I definitely, kind of like how I want to be more present with my kids right now and not rush anyone into the next whatever. Same, I want to just be present with my mom, my older relatives. I have 2 aunts living in LA. One is in her 80s, the other's in her 90s, and they are very close to me. They have, in many ways, been more like grandparents. After my dad died when I was a kid, they stepped in and really helped take care of me, especially financially. And so this past year, I've been trying to, again, bring the kids up there on rotation, one at a time. We'll stop by a fun spot on the way, but I want to make sure they get plenty of quality time with my aunts for as long as we can do this. Okay, another thing I've been grateful for this year has been work, and seeing how, there have been a lot of people who've lost jobs in the past year, who've had trouble finding it. I know not to take that for granted. I've been working at Plant with Purpose for almost 9 years now, and this year felt pretty special. So a few months ago, I was at our gala dinner, right? It's our biggest fundraising event, fancy dinner. They let me do a David Attenborough impression as the opener for the thing. And anyway, this is an event I've been to every year that I've been working here, so I can kind of go on autopilot. I've heard our CEO speak at this a number of times, but this year was his last year before stepping into a new role and handing off the CEO reins. And so, it kind of had that parting words feel. And yeah, while he was during his talk, it just occurred to me, we've done good work. I've been part of this organization, and I know our stats because I say them all the time. But one of the ones that's sunk in with me is we've helped some of the most marginalized communities in the world. We're talking about the places where poverty is the most extreme: Congo, Haiti, Burundi, places, if you just look up a list of food insecurity, of poverty, etc., these are the very top or bottom of the list, depending on how they're sorted. Anyway, we've collectively helped those communities build about $18 million of equity using their own money over time. It's not like we've just asked for people to give them money and that became 18. No, we've given them a platform to save and invest and turn their literal nickels and dimes into $18 million. And that's, I mean, who knows if I'm going to ever see $18 million. Just imagine how much further that goes in those settings. That's awesome. And I'm thankful I've gotten to be a part of it. I'm thankful that, when I go to work in the morning, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm contributing towards, and that I've been able to do that for almost a decade now, just knowing that the work is good, that it's contributing to something that matters. Ooh, speaking of finances though, okay, this year was not a great year financially. We just had so many of those unexpected incidents, the repairs, dental work, more repairs, car stuff, just pop up one right after the other. It felt like they were always like, they say it comes in threes. It felt like it came in nines for us this year. But I'm putting that on my gratitude list because I'm thankful we had the cushion. There are so many people who really did have it worse, people who lost their job and who are still looking for it up until now. And so, yeah, I'm thankful that even with those setbacks, we are okay, that we have preschool tuition coming off the books for next year. And even though we had those unpleasant surprises, it gave me good clarity on what I want my financial future to be like, my financial present. I want it to be free and generous, right? I don't think I have it in me to be the type that's just concerned about maximizing revenue. So other people are great at that, and they maximize revenue so they can give it away and be generous. And that is a skill. It's a skill. It's not the way I'm wired. I do want to be generous. I also want to be free and to not have to overthink these things. My mental energy can go elsewhere. And so I think it's good to know what you want your relationship with money to be like, and there are very different ways for that to be healthy. I can't not think of this past year without thinking of some trips that stand out to me as really big highlights, some friend trips. In August, I was able to go to Ecuador. I got an invite from a friend who's from there, whose home community is becoming an ecotourism spot. And we got to go hiking on these 1,000-year trails. I know I haven't said much about that experience yet. It's because I really want to do the stories justice when I get to tell them. So those will be coming soon. And then also back in April, my friend Daniel and I got to go to Seattle. We got to see Kendrick Lamar play at Lumen Field. And as you would expect, we just had a blast. It was raining on us the entire time, and that all pretty much added to the show. So I'm glad that I can still have these opportunities to keep up with friends. I'm at a stage of life where that can be very difficult. And so, again, not something I take for granted. It was a good year for my eclectic set of hobbies too, as far as I'm concerned. When it comes to improv, I have had the most fun playing with my Optimus Rhyme team, which we do freestyle rap improv. Extremely niche hobby. Speaking of extremely niche, I'm right now in a semi-improvised Christmas musical based on the TV show Severance. It is wild, it's chaotic, and it's so much fun. I haven't done anything musical in a long time. I'm on a house team at my local theater, Pacific Quiche, and really the best part about doing all this is just being part of the community and having those ties, because you got to get that where you can get it. It's important these days, and kind of harder to get than it used to be. And then on the other side of the spectrum, illustration's another one of my hobbies. It's kind of like my wind down hobby, whereas improv, you get the energy up. And anyway, I really switched up my style this year, totally different, and it just kind of injected that interest with some new life, new energy. One thing I noticed when putting this list together is very little on this list was actually new. The things that I seem to appreciate most from this past year were things that just seem to keep getting better with age. The place I've been working for almost 9 years, my marriage of 10 years, the kids getting older, relatives getting older, and hey, getting better with age sounds good to me. I am entering the back half of my 30s, and that crept up fast. So if we can, just keep letting things that have been good ripen and get even better. It doesn't always have to be new and flashy, which is often, I fall for the new shiny thing easier than anyone probably. But I'm learning how to appreciate the things that are really consistent, tried and true, and solid. So it was a wild year. A lot of good things. I still struggle to call it a good year because I know what it's been like for a lot of people. But you heard my highlights. There's a lot to be grateful for, And here's hoping that we can just keep building off that in 2026 and pick up a few more wins. All right. Happy New Year, y'all. Be careful. The unicorn is floating. Be careful. The unicorn is floating. Please be careful. The unicorn is floating. Be careful. The unicorn is floating. Be careful. The unicorn is floating. Be careful. The unicorn is floating.
Ripping the wall since it felt like this. Ripping the wall since it felt like this. Ripping the wall since it felt like this. Since you felt like this. Ripping the wall since you felt like this. Ripping the wall since you felt like this.